Miles Russell wasn't just good, he was inevitable. At just 15, he became the youngest ever to win AJGA Player of the Year, a title usually reserved for battle-tested 17-year-olds with college offers pouring in. But for Miles, dominance wasn't a surprise it was expected. His swing? Clinical. His composure? Unshakable. Junior golf tournaments weren't battlegrounds, they were classrooms, and Miles was the head instructor. But even empires built on precision can face earthquakes. Week after week, Russell stacked wins like they were trophies in a kid's video game. The Junior PGA Championship, the Rolex Tournament of Champions, and yes, the prestigious Team TaylorMade Invitationale didn't just play in them, he owned them. His name sat at the top of leaderboards so often, it practically had squatters' rights. Still, when you dominate long enough, the challengers stop admiring and start hunting. To understand Miles Russell's impact, you need to hear how coaches and analysts talk about him. Tour ready. More polished than some college seniors. He has the patience of a 30-year-old pro. This wasn't hype, this was consensus. Miles had a swing that never panicked, a short game that whispered elegance, and course management like he'd been raised on yardage books instead of bedtime stories. But what happens when someone shows up with chaos and talent? In the junior golf world, Miles wasn't just a competitor, he was the standard. Everyone else was compared to him. Kids studied his approach, tried to mimic his tempo, and prayed for a front row seat to watch him dismantle a course. For the past 2 years, this was Miles Russell's territory. Everyone else? Just guests hoping for scraps. That is, until someone crashed through the gate without knocking. But dominance in golf, like in life, comes with an expiration date. You never know when or who will rewrite the script. And in this story, the rewrite came with the last name Woods. From the moment he first teed it up in public, Charlie Woods wasn't just a junior golfer, he was Tiger Woods' son. The spotlight didn't wait for him to earn it. It followed him like a shadow he never asked for. Every swing, every twitch, every pre-shot routine was analyzed by a sports world thirsty to crown the next one. Golf fans weren't just watching Charlie, they were expecting a sequel to greatness. But in golf, your name only gets you so far, the scorecard tells the truth. And at first, the truth was mixed. There were moments of brilliance-tight iron shots, fearless putts, poise beyond his age. But they came between missed cuts, frustrating rounds, and the awkward growing pains of being 14, then 15, with a camera in your face and the entire golf world whispering about potential. Charlie wasn't just competing against other juniors. He was fighting against a legacy, against a name. And when you're trying to make your own path, that shadow only grows heavier. Then came the 2024 AJGA Team TaylorMade Invitational, and everything changed. No distractions, no headlines, just golf. Charlie locked in and delivered, carding a jaw-dropping final round 66, blowing past names that had defined junior golf for years, including one name at the top, Miles Russell. This wasn't a feel-good moment, it was a statement. The kid wasn't chasing the hype anymore, he was chasing wins. In the words of Golf Monthly, this was the tournament where Charlie Woods finally stepped out of the shadow and into the spotlight on his own terms. And they were right. This wasn't Tiger Jr., this was Charlie. Determined, focused, and dangerous. Because this wasn't about the name on his back, it was about the scorecard in his hands. For the first time, Miles wasn't the only name worth circling on the leaderboard. A new name had entered the arena, and he didn't come to blend in. He came to shake everything up. The qualifier at Eagle Trace Golf Club wasn't supposed to be the story. It was just another stepping stone, a filter to sort talent ahead of the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. Everyone already knew the names likely to advance. Miles Russell? He didn't even need an introduction. His spot was basically etched in the bracket in ink. But Charlie Woods? He was in the mix, barely. And with just one spot left, it came down to a brutal win-or-go-home playoff. And what Charlie did next flipped the script completely. The pressure was suffocating. Playoffs aren't about style, they're about grit. It's you, the club, and one shot at survival. And Charlie? He delivered. A clean tee shot, a clinical approach, ice-cold composure. Then the putt smooth, center cut, and final. He didn't just survive. He stormed the gates. As AmateurGolf.com put it, Charlie Woods earns his way to the U.S. Junior Amateur the hard way. Crowd reactions? Electric. The moment hit social media within minutes. Reddit lit up with posts like, "Say what you want, the kid has nerves of steel." That playoff wasn't hype. That was real. Charlie earned that spot. No wildcards, no favors. He fought tooth and nail and grabbed the final spot in one of the toughest fields in junior golf. And make no mistake, when Charlie won that playoff, the air around Miles Russell shifted. Miles was still the favorite. He had the resume, the wins, the headlines, but suddenly there was someone in the rear view closer than expected. Someone who had been grinding, adjusting, learning. Charlie didn't sneak into the tournament. He slammed the door shut behind him, and the sound echoed loudly. Because for the first time, people weren't asking, "Is Charlie good?" They were asking, "Is Charlie coming for Miles next?" And what happened next made that question feel like prophecy. Because when the lights got brighter, Charlie didn't flinch. The Team TaylorMade Invitational was never supposed to be a battleground. It was tradition. A gathering of the nation's best junior talent where names like Miles Russell were expected to shine and confirm their dominance. This was his turf, a course he'd walked before, a leaderboard he'd topped before. And in that sea of talent, few expected Charlie Woods to do more than keep pace. But Charlie didn't show up to keep up. He came to take over. As the weekend unfolded, the pressure dialed up. But while others cracked, Charlie caught fire. His final round 66 wasn't just good, it was surgical. Fairways found, irons dialed in. Putts dropped like he'd been doing it for decades. It wasn't flash, it was focus. And standing somewhere in that field, watching it unfold, Miles Russell. Charlie didn't just win the tournament, he beat the best. And everyone noticed. Golf Monthly put it simply. Charlie Woods silences critics with a statement win over an elite field. Fans flooded Reddit and Twitter with takes. This wasn't hype, this was earned. Charlie just walked into Miles's house and took the keys. This wasn't a feel-good story, it was a power shift. For the first time, the junior golf world looked up and realized there were two alphas now. Everything changed in that moment. The narrative flipped like a scorecard on Sunday afternoon. Charlie Woods wasn't just a prodigy with a famous last name anymore, he was a real threat. The kind that doesn't ask permission, the kind that doesn't blink, the kind that forces even the best Jess, even Molesto, look over their shoulder. It was no longer Miles versus the field. It was Miles versus Charlie. That leaderboard told the story loud and clear. And the rest of the season? It was now personal. Because when two titans share the same territory, someone's got to move. For years, the spotlight had one name carved into it, Miles Russell. He was the face of junior golf, the force that defined the narrative. But now, there's a new script being written. Charlie Woods isn't knocking on the door anymore. He's standing inside the house, bag in hand, ready to stay. What used to be Miles versus the field has turned into something far more intense, a shared spotlight and rising tension. Because when two stars burn this bright, there's no room for shadows. According to Golf Monthly, Charlie's recent performances have transformed him from a promising prodigy into a serious contender in every tournament he enters. They didn't hedge, they didn't sugarcoat. They called it what it is, a shift, a reshuffling of the junior golf hierarchy. One where the last name doesn't define him anymore, the leaderboard does. And right now, the numbers are speaking louder than ever. Even Tiger Woods, a man of few public words when it comes to Charlie, couldn't hide his pride. He's learning, he said in a quiet moment after Charlie's win. He's figuring out how to competent just swing a club. That wasn't a golf lesson. That was a mindset shift. From potential to performance. From student to hunter. And make no mistake, Charlie's no longer learning from the sidelines. He's learning while he wins. But here's the thing. Miles Russell isn't fading. Not even close. He's still elite, still hungry, still the standard. For now. The difference? Now, every tee time feels like a showdown. Every round, a chapter in a growing rivalry. You can feel it. Something is building. A clash. A new wave. This isn't just a changing of the guard. It's a fight for the throne. So, what happens next? Does Miles reclaim what was his? Or has Charlie already staked his claim for the long haul? The throne isn't empty. It's just more crowded than ever before.